Mm. Okay, last week we were discussing about transport of gases in blood. Of course, only carbon dioxide and oxygen. I think oxygen is very straightforward, bind with hemoglobin, and then it transport. But carbon dioxide transport is a bit complicated. We couldn't finish it. We just started to understand carbon dioxide transport, right? So we continue from today's class, transport of carbon dioxide. Just to revise it again, how it works. So we have to learn the complete carbon dioxide transport in this way. The first thing is we have to learn, we have to understand how the carbon dioxide release from respiring cell and this carbon dioxide going into the capillaries. Here is the capillary, and inside the capillary, how we transport. And after that, we should also learn how it release out of the body, because we have to remember clearly 70% of carbon dioxide dissolve in the plasma as bicarbonate ion. 70% dissolve as bicarbonate ion, and then 23% can bind to hemoglobin. But this binding to hemoglobin has no interference for oxygen binding. So it binds to the protein part of the hemoglobin, the globin part of the hemoglobin, and not the iron part of the hemoglobin. So this is called carbaminohemoglobin. And 7% dissolved in the plasma. Okay, then if we take only these two, that's about 70%. They exist in form of carbon dioxide. So here there is no issue. Here it's a carbon dioxide directly bind to hemoglobin, and here carbon dioxide dissolved in the plasma. But we have an issue with the 70% bicarbonate ion. Why it is important for us? Because we have learned in the past, in the lungs, we remove carbon dioxide out. Right now, this we can understand if this blood now circulate to the lungs, and then this 30%, that means 23 plus 7 is 30%. They are in the form of carbon dioxide. Then this 70%, 30% can release out of the lungs as carbon dioxide. But we have learned it is carbon dioxide we remove from our body during the breathing out. Breathing out is also called exhalation. Exhalation, we remove carbon dioxide out of our body. But we know bicarbonate cannot be removed from the lungs. Okay, just quickly revise what we have learned, how the bicarbonate ion forms. So when carbon dioxide enter into the red blood cell, carbon dioxide can react with water to form carbonic acid. This is catalyzed by carbonic anhydrase enzyme. Carbonic anhydrase enzyme catalyzes the reaction. So it is extremely fast reaction because carbon dioxide is toxic in the body. Carbon dioxide should quickly convert into bicarbonate ion, and bicarbonate ion further dissociate into hydrogen ion and bicarbonate ion. The carbonic acid dissociate into hydrogen ion and bicarbonate ions. And I told you additional points. If the hydrogen ion forms, hydrogen ion can lower the pH. If pH lower, that is not good for the enzymes. Enzyme doesn't work, enzyme can denature. So as a result, hemoglobin bind with the hydrogen ions to neutralize it. It's not existing in the hydrogen ions as when it binds to hemoglobin. So in chemistry, these kind of things are called buffers. So buffers are the chemical which can keep the pH unchanged. So hemoglobin act as buffer. So hydrogen ion increase, it take hydrogen ion, pH doesn't change. Then I told you there's a transporter, the bicarbonate ion going out of the cells, and to compensate the chloride ion coming back. So bicarbonate is going out of the cell, mean bicarbonate ion is in the plasma. So they are well dissolved in plasma because negatively charged ions, they can dissolve in plasma, and the bicarbonate ion also moving to the lungs now. So we want to understand how bicarbonate ion remove out of the body. So today we're going to learn removing of bicarbonate ion from the lungs. So it is very easy to understand why is that the reaction is backward reaction of what is happening in the respiring cell. That means if you try to start from here and it goes this direction. This arrow indicate the direction of the reaction. So let's do it again. Next topic is after the circulation, gas exchange, lungs. So it is again slightly repeating same story. The removing of carbon dioxide and taking oxygen. So we will learn it again in the next section. Okay, now this is the smallest unit of the lungs called alveoli. It is made out of one cell, and inside is the air-filled sac. So air is coming from this direction when we breathe in. Okay. Usually, the carbon dioxide concentration in our atmospheric air 0.03%. So this is the amount of carbon dioxide present in the normal gas. So we take this 0.03% because we cannot avoid that, because oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide are the three main gases in the atmosphere. Now, very close to the alveoli, we have a capillary. So we also learn capillary in this section. They also made out of thin cells called endothelial cells. And they're very close in contact. That's capillary. And this one is alveoli. Here we can see a red blood cell. It just pack, only one cell can pack into the capillary, because if you want to understand the size of these capillaries and red blood cells, so capillary diameter somewhere around 7 to 8 micrometer. And the diameter of red blood cells is again close to 7 micrometer. So it just fit like this, right? Right. Now, what's going to happen? The bicarbonate ion. Where is bicarbonate ion? It's in the plasma. So I can use the yellow color to represent the plasma. So this is the plasma, liquid part of the blood. Now, bicarbonate ion, it's here. Now, bicarbonate ion can go into the red blood cells. Here's a transporter. Now it's going into the red blood cell. Now, chloride ion goes out. This is something what we have learned previously. Bicarbonate is going out of the red blood cell, chloride is coming into the red blood cell. Opposite reaction is happening. Bicarbonate coming into the red blood cell, chloride ion going out of the red blood cell. Okay, now what is the main duty of hemoglobin at this place? Hemoglobin should take oxygen. The main duty in the lungs, take oxygen to the hemoglobin. So it has very strong attraction to take oxygen because oxygen concentration is quite high. Atmospheric oxygen concentration is 21%. So 21% concentration is really high. So then hemoglobin are very attractive to oxygen molecule. Chemically, it's a very attractive oxygen molecule. So this is happening in the lungs. Then oxygen bind to hemoglobin to make oxyhemoglobin. That time it releases hydrogen ions. So hydrogen ion release when it bind with oxygen. Then hydrogen ion is available now. Now you can see hydrogen ion plus bicarbonate ion can make carbonic acid. So carbonic acid again dissociate into carbon dioxide and water. So backward reaction, hydrogen plus bicarbonate, carbonic acid. So carbonic acid again dissociate into carbon dioxide and water. Now this carbon dioxide can go out again to the alveoli. Because this side carbon dioxide concentration is high, So CO2 concentration is high in capillary and CO2 concentration is low in the alveoli. So what is the method? Diffusion. It's a simple diffusion because we should also understand they have to pass the cell membrane. For example, it has to pass the red blood cell membrane. It has to pass endothelial cell membrane. It has to pass this alveolar epithelial cell membrane. Crossing membrane is, we can consider as diffusion. So simple diffusion from high concentration to low concentration, carbon dioxide can go out. Same thing happen, oxygen concentration is high. This side, oxygen concentration is low in the red blood cells. So then oxygen is moving this direction, carbon dioxide is moving this direction. Again, oxygen is diffused into the red blood cell and quickly bind with hemoglobin. So we have learned this. One hemoglobin molecule can bind with 4 oxygen molecules to form oxyhemoglobin. Right. This is the method of carbon dioxide transport in the body. People call this loading and unloading. So sometimes this is called loading. This side is loading and this side is unloading. So what is loading? Respiring cells, carbon dioxide load into the red blood cell. And lungs, carbon dioxide unload. But if you take oxygen, it is opposite. So oxygen unloading here and oxygen loading here. Yes, I think just to highlight what are the most important thing to remember, it is best that we remember these numbers percentage-wise, the amount of carbon dioxide transport. And especially this reaction with enzyme, that's very important to understand. Carbon dioxide plus water, bicarbonic acid, carbonic acid dissociate into hydrogen ion and bicarbonate ions and catalyzed by carbonic anhydrase enzyme. And in the lungs, opposite is happening. Bicarbonate going into the red blood cell, combined with hydrogen ion, form carbonic acid, dissociate into carbon dioxide and water. Okay, we have completed this gas transport. After that, what is left? The lesson is lesson number 20. So I gave the numbers now that you can quickly check what is the lesson we are doing. Lesson number 20, composition and major functions of blood. This is lesson 20. Composition and major function of the blood.
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, can you explain the chemical reaction with carbonic acid?
Okay. So carbon dioxide can combine with water to form carbonic acid. Right. I think if you want to better understand this, you know, there are a lot of drinks called fizzy drinks. So we like to drink fizzy drinks. There are many names. Starting from the famous brand like Coca-Cola, and we have our own brands like ginger beer, Necto, like these things, Fanta, soda, and things. Let's say soda. What is actually soda? Soda is water compressed with carbon dioxide. Compressed with carbon dioxide. So what is inside Coca-Cola? Carbon dioxide. What is inside Pepsi-Cola? Carbon dioxide. So what is inside all these fizzy drink? Carbon dioxide. Now, why people add carbon dioxide into the drinks? So they can form carbonic acid. If carbonic acid is formed, what happens to the pH? pH decrease. So you have a good knowledge in chemistry. So you know pH 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So below 7, it's acidic. Above 7, it's basic. And you know, pH scale, 1 is strong. 1 is the strongest. And 7 is a neutral pH. 7 is neutral pH. And 14 is very basic pH. That is the normal range of pH. Then all the fizzy drinks, they have a low pH. So you have heard that this drink can dissolve a tooth. This drink can dissolve metal, like that, because of the acid. So if they add carbon dioxide, all the fizzy drink, pH is low, which is between 2 and 3. The pH of the fizzy drinks are between 2 and 3. Now, why they add then carbon dioxide to the fizzy drink? Soda is carbon dioxide and water. Because this carbonic acid gives us a taste. This makes some kind of a taste. Otherwise, you could also ask why they don't add nitrogen. Nitrogen can also make bubbles. Why don't they add oxygen? Oxygen can also make bubbles. So same thing happen. If you open it, the gas is coming and it makes bubbles. So it is not the idea of making bubbles. So giving some kind of a taste, the acidic taste. So same thing happen in the red blood cell. As carbon dioxide enter, react with water, and this is catalyzed by carbonic anhydrase. So enzymes are important to speed up the reactions. So it forms carbonic acid. So carbonic acid further change to hydrogen ion and bicarbonate ion. So it is dissociated into hydrogen ion and bicarbonate ion. And in red blood cells, this bicarbonate ion can go out and dissolve in plasma. There's a chloride ion also moving in when bicarbonate is going out. So now you can understand this, where is this carbon dioxide? Now carbon dioxide, it's in the form of bicarbonate ion. So it's here now. So carbon dioxide is here. Now just imagine this has happened in the legs. The muscle cells of the legs produce carbon dioxide. Then the carbon dioxide convert into bicarbonate ion. Now the bicarbonate ion coming to the lungs because vein bring the blood to the lungs. In the lungs, opposite reaction is happening. Opposite reaction is bicarbonate is going out from the plasma into the red blood cell, and chloride is going now out. So bicarbonate now react with hydrogen ion to make carbonic acid. Carbonic acid further dissociate into carbon dioxide and water. So the black color one, reaction take place in the respiring cells. The orange color one take place in the lungs. So carbon dioxide reform. Then carbon dioxide can go out from the body as gas. So this is iron, this is a gas. Just like an iron convert into gas. In the respiring tissue, gas convert into iron. Lungs, iron convert back into the gas. So this is the chemical reaction take place in the red blood cells. So 70% carbon dioxide, this depends, right? 70% depends. Some textbook, they use 80%, some 75%, 70% like that. So above 70% transport in this way. So that's a transport of carbon dioxide. So did you understand this reaction now?
So why chlorine ion is the case?
It's like a balance the ions. I mean, that's not much important because when it lose a negative ion, so chloride ion is coming in. So it is important that the bicarbonate ion should remove out of the cells to maintain the concentration difference. Because if if bicarbonate ion is not moving out of the cell, it is inside the cells, then the reaction is slow down, because if too much products form, then it can inhibit the rate of reactions. For example, if A plus B makes C, if this is a forward reaction, what will happen? The C increasing and A and B concentration decreasing, because A and B convert into C. So usually, in order to keep the reaction moving forward, the C is removing from the cell, then A and B can continuously convert into C. So this is example, bicarbonate ion remove into the plasma. So make the ion balance, the chloride ion, negative ion, come back into the cells. So this chloride ion moving in part is not in the resource book. I just added it to complete. Otherwise, it is called chloride shift, and the word chloride shift is not used, and chloride ion moving in also not used. It just very briefly describe this process. So is it clear?
So the yellow color one is the first part, and the second color is the black. What reaction happens?
The black color one take place in the respiring side. That means here, here, this one, yes. So actually we missed the last week lesson. Like I explained last week, if, let's say, this is a muscle cell. So muscle cells need a lot of energy. So, if you remember the aerobic respiration, glucose molecule, this is a glucose molecule C6H12O6, need oxygen, and it produces carbon dioxide, water, and ATP. So this reaction we consider as aerobic respiration, and we call these cells respiring cells. Respiring cells need energy in the form of ATP. The byproducts are carbon dioxide and water. Now, carbon dioxide should remove from the body. To remove carbon dioxide, then inside the capillary, this is a red blood cell. The carbon dioxide diffused to the red blood cell, and then carbon dioxide combined with water, carbonic acid dissociate into hydrogen ion and bicarbonate ion. Then the bicarbonate ion going out. So this takes place in the respiring cells. This is a muscle cell. This is a red blood cell. Now this blood going back to the lungs, because oxygen delivered, when it bring oxygen, oxygen is delivered and carbon dioxide is taken into the red blood cells. Now it is going to the lungs. When it going to the lungs, here I explain in blue color, bicarbonate in the plasma moving into the red blood cell. Then the bicarbonate combined with hydrogen ion to make carbonic acid. Carbonic acid convert back into carbon dioxide and water. That means opposite of reaction take place. In the lungs, opposite reaction take place. So it is going backward. Here, that's happened in the lungs now. So two different places. One is muscle, respiring tissue, lungs, gas exchange system. One reaction in respiring tissues, it's going one direction. In lungs, it is going opposite direction. So carbon dioxide convert into bicarbonate ion in respiring tissue. Lungs, bicarbonate convert into carbon dioxide to remove from the body. Is it clear now?
Yes, okay.
Okay. Now, if you look at the notes, I sent it to you, I think, recently. To WhatsApp. Lesson number 20, composition and major functions of the blood. So before we come to analyze the composition, frequently, if we visit hospitals, if we have a sickness, doctors take blood sample for analysis. Sometimes, if the disease is mild, no need to take a blood sample. But in complicated conditions, they have to take blood for various purposes. So why doctor wants blood? when someone is sick. And how the blood is taken from the body. Usually nurse taking the blood, and after that you don't see what they are doing. I think you have seen probably adult elderly people, you take hospital, they take blood. After that you don't see what they are doing. Maybe you have seen they are taking blood. It could be